It seems that every time I want to make a video speaking up front, face first, like this, I come down with a case of the sniffles. So if I sound off, as usual, that's what that is. So today is August 7th. I haven't even begun editing the third episode of Story because I've been working pretty hard in Blender, putting a bunch of clothes together. I'm looking at them right now, so I have all these different combinations of clothes. You'd be surprised how many combinations of clothes you can make with the articles of clothing that I've made right here, which you'll see later on. I don't know if I'm going to show this right now. I think this is going to be the beginning of the video. You're going to see how I've sculpted the clothes, and then at the end you'll see the different articles of clothing that I've made. What I still have to do is make shoes for the end, and then edit all of this together. The weather has been so shitty throughout July, throughout summer. It's been extremely rainy. So much of the summer has been rain. So I'm hesitant to take out my Can-Am in the rain because I don't want to do too much damage to it. Rain over time can damage the vehicle if it doesn't dry out. You know, it can rust away the parts and mess with the electrical systems in the motorcycle. And you don't want to ride in the rain too much if you don't have to. So even on the sunny days, I've found myself inside just doing Blender and working on that portion of the video. But I did go out, and I will tell you more about that. I don't want to repeat myself too much because in the video I do little clips where I'm talking to you guys while I'm at the destination that I'm at. What I'm going to do in this video is just do something silly because I noticed how silly I looked when I did this before. As you notice, my hair is getting pretty long. I was kind of going for that biker style, that long hair, kind of Sons of Anarchy look, you know. But it really doesn't matter. I wear a helmet anyway, so you can't really see my hair. And at the top, especially, it's getting to be a little too much. So I'm going to be making an appointment to get my hair cut. So for now, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the long portion of my hair. So I want to kind of make it look shorter by curling it up a bit. And I'm also going to be doing a Dead Sea mud mask. I bought this because I was having this weird urge to give a shit about the condition of my skin. I never think to do that, and I just thought I should buy this and clear up my pores or whatever the fuck this does. Youthful skin, deep skin cleanser, pore reducer. Yeah, see, that's what I said. Anti-acne. I've been told that I have bad scarring from previous acne breakouts in my life, and, well, that was also by people who were trying to sell me something, so I don't know what to believe, but I don't think I have the best skin in the world, so I'm going to try out this mud mask, and I'm also going to be using these little hair curlers to kind of curl up my hair. Last time I did this was like months ago to see how it turned out, and I looked really fucking ridiculous, so I thought it would be funny to kind of talk to you guys while I'm trying to curl up the long portion of my hair right here. My hair's wet, I just took a shower, so here we go. You're getting so many different videos in one video, you guys. You guys should be really thanking me right now. I'm out here doing the most for you. That didn't work. Gotta get this shit to stay. Okay, that's the first one in. I'm using all different sizes, so this is gonna come out really interesting. So what I wanted to do was go to New York for this video, show you a little bit of Manhattan. My ultimate goal was to go over the bridges into Manhattan, the George Washington Bridge, and then go on to Long Island. This is coming out. This is really stupid. I wanted to conquer my fear of bridges because I have anxiety when going over bridges, at least in my car, so I wanted to experience bridges on the Can-Am instead and see if that was any bit different, and it was. The only bridge that gave me a little bit of anxiety was the Queensboro Bridge. There was a lot of construction going on that bridge. And so once I got to Long Island, there were more bridges that I wanted to go over, because I was thinking, once I'm on Long Island, what am I going to do on Long Island? There are beaches on Long Island. I've heard of places like Fire Island, so I was like, let me check out Fire Island. I Googled it, I saw the lighthouse, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm thinking it would be kind of cool to have a collection of lighthouse scenes for this series. The ride was just beautiful the entire time. I don't want to say the entire time, I mean, on the way there, I made the mistake of taking the tunnels. Google Maps led me into the Lincoln Tunnel and the other tunnel and I was like, shit, the point was to take the bridges. And it was a beautiful day to see the bridges too. It wasn't rainy, it wasn't cloudy, it was nice and clear. But then when I got to Long Island and I was trying to get to Fire Island, there were bridges leading the way to Fire Island. I'm all over the place telling the story. This is not at all chronological because I did hit some obstacles trying to get to Fire Island. I'm obsessed with bridges. I'm going to make a bridge crossing compilation. I experienced the most beautiful sunrise I'd ever seen in my life. It was like something out of a Hollywood movie. I really like where story is going, to be honest. I'm just living life. Stay. Bitch. When I got to Long Island, I was so exhausted. It was about 5 o'clock when I actually found a hotel room to stay in. And I had to swing for a double room because that's all they had. I actually ended up getting a hotel that was right next to an airport. I didn't know that until I actually reserved the room. Obviously, all the single rooms are going to be taken. It's right next to an airport. Stupid. I was so extremely exhausted, but so extremely hungry. So other than the lighthouse, I didn't know anything about Fire Island. Let me get to the obstacle part of the story, because this story is all over the place. Before I got to the hotel, so I was on this long stretch of Jones Beach Road, and I saw something actually very interesting. I passed net playground, a kind of net. I don't know how to describe it. It looked like a giant playground, not for kids, but for like all ages. It had a bunch of nets, it had a bunch of things to climb. I think it even had zip lines. I couldn't see, but it looked awesome. It looked like a really cool place to go. I'll have to check back there when it cools off a bit, because I'm not doing that in like 90-degree heat. But it's cool. The more you explore, the more you discover things that you've never seen before. So yeah, that long stretch of road led to traffic delays. And somewhere along the way, I took my shirt off, my long sleeve shirt off, and I just started cooking in the sun. My skin was getting so immensely sunburned. And during this traffic jam, I realized that I was pretty low on gas. I was getting a low fuel warning. And with the Can-Am on the display, there is an option that tells you how many miles that you have remaining before you need to stop for gas. And it did say that I had like 40, maybe 30 miles left. Even at that, I was still getting anxious. Low fuel warnings are not a fun thing to experience when you're stuck in traffic and you're on a long stretch of road that you have no idea where the next gas station is. And my phone disconnected from Google Maps and I couldn't get it back connected. I should not have exited Google Maps because it couldn't get me back on the route. It couldn't connect me to a gas station. It couldn't connect me back on the route that I was trying to get on. I just felt like I was screwed. So I was just sitting there waiting for Google Maps to load to no avail, and I eventually decided to bypass the traffic and go in the other direction. All the traffic was leading up to a place called Robert Moses Park, which is what I go back to later during the sunrise. But I went the other direction. I went over the bridge back to Long Island, and I eventually found a gas station. And that's when I started looking for a hotel. Look at this sunburn. Look at this. It's insane. So we're doing a hotel room, Mexican food, quesadilla, mukbang. I have my quesadilla here, and I have this steak burrito bowl. It looks pretty much entirely sour cream. I told him to hold the guacamole because I'm allergic to avocados. So I guess they just smothered it in sour cream to make up for the guacamole. Yeah, it took a bit too long looking for food. It's 7:30, 7:36. I've probably been awake for 24 hours. No, that's not true. After I came home from work in the morning, I slept for an hour, and then I started getting my things together. And I left. I left too late. That's one thing. I should have left much earlier, at least 2 or 3 hours earlier. I'm tired and I'm trying to watch what I say because I was really pissing myself off in like the last episode of Story. I kept repeating myself and I was saying the stupidest things, and when I'm editing, I hate myself on camera, and I'm like, why do you repeat yourself so much? Stop. This is part of the reason that I'm doing this, vlogging, learning how to vlog, and doing vlogs inevitably makes you better at doing more vlogs. Speaking on camera inevitably makes you better at speaking on camera. It's all practice, practice makes perfect, and you got to keep putting stuff out there and kind of embarrassing yourself in order to get better. This is like more the real me. I'm not like, hi, like smiling for the camera and trying to play it up so much. I'm really not like that, and it's really hard for me to just kind of fake that kind of positivity for the camera, and I don't like doing that, and if it feels forced, I don't want to do it. Gonna have to get back home and sleep before work Monday night. Then I'll be off next weekend, and it's gonna rain. It's been raining consistently almost every weekend that I'm off. You know what I think this is? I think it's a government conspiracy. They saw my videos and they were like, oh, this kid, Kevin, he's trying to be outside this summer. We can't let that happen. We control the weather, so we're going to make it rain every day that he's off, almost every day that he's off. That's what we're going to do. They can control the weather. They can turn the frogs gay. Anything is possible. It's a government conspiracy. Yeah, so I'm done with the quesadilla. This burrito bowl, however, I barely made a dent in it. I swear, though, I can't get over that Fire Island sunrise. I posted it on Instagram, and then I was like, oh, hashtag Fire Island, and then when I clicked the hashtag, all I saw was, like, half-naked gay dudes. And that's when I figured if I had gone any further than the lighthouse, I probably just would have seen a bunch of naked gay guys in the water. Oh yeah, so it did feel like a video game when I was going towards the lighthouse because I was out of bounds, technically. The sign said that the park was closed after sunset, and the barriers were still there, so I assumed, oh, I probably shouldn't be crossing over and going that direction, but I saw other cars going that way, so I was like, maybe it's not too bad. Like, really, no one's here. I have the place virtually all to myself, so let me just go through and see what happens. And I had the road all to myself, and like I said, the sunrise was just gorgeous, and the whole scene was just amazing. And just getting closer and closer to the lighthouse with the sunrise in the distance, the scene, everything together was so worth it. And then I got to another barrier with more signs that said, like, no parking, you need a permit to go down this road, and I went anyway to get a little bit closer to the lighthouse, but after a while I saw a couple people down the road, and I was like, and there were cars, there was a truck that was coming up behind me, maybe I shouldn't go any closer. I started to feel more and more that out of bounds feeling, so I turned myself around and I went over the bridge again to see the sunrise in the sky and the water. What I saw ended up being well worth the trip, the entire trip, the hotel, everything considered, that was worth it. So that weekend, I didn't party, didn't drink, didn't do anything. I ended up riding around and eating food in the hotel room. That was my weekend. And I will show you a bit of my morning after that, after I got back from the Sunrise. It's almost 10 a.m. on July 24th. I'm just sitting around waiting in the hotel room, watching TV, watching the news.
Introduce more confusion. You can't paste over it with jargon, which seems to be
absolutely, especially whenever brand loyalty and brand recognition is such a major part of any business. To have some,
I can't imagine being on social media so much that if social media changes even a little bit, it's like the end of the world for you. Go outside.
$5 million at the box office domestically, the biggest opening of the year so far.
I don't care about Barbie. I don't care about Oppenheimer. You couldn't pay me to go watch those films. I don't like sitting still and staring at a screen. If I'm gonna sit still and stare at a screen for hours, I'm gonna be doing something creative in Blender. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't consume. I'm not a consumer. That's disgusting. Like, what am I gonna do? See Barbie and be like, wow, now I can talk to other people who've also seen Barbie. I can make a conversation with them about Barbie or Oppenheimer, and then I can be relatable or sociable because I am cultured. No. I never watch TV, but I'm just waiting around and waiting for rush hour traffic to stop. It's a Monday morning, so I'm waiting. So there's less obstacles, less traffic to navigate through. So yeah, I had a lot more time in the hotel than I thought I would. So I went to Fire Island. I found Fire Island. I found the lighthouse. I don't really know how to navigate Fire Island at all because there's all these signs, there's all these barriers to entry. I was riding and I had a little tears in my eyes, a little bit, going down that long stretch of road leading up to the lighthouse. It was very beautiful, and there's nothing like this feeling. It makes the Can-Am well worth it. It's a new way of viewing the world, experiencing everything around you. You don't want to get back in a car, you really don't. And I would recommend it to anybody who is a safe driver, who's not going to get on a motorcycle and be really dangerous with it and try to do all these stunts and try to get themselves killed. Not good for that kind of person. But if you are, like, a reasonable person and you make good decisions and you have good vision, good hand-eye coordination, and you're always aware of everything around you and you're not going to go 100 miles an hour all the time, I think you're going to be a safe rider. Just have common sense. Didn't get into any scary situations on Long Island. Navigating through the city was pretty easy. Very scenic going through Manhattan for the little time that I did. I had people coming up to me. I had this one guy come up to me on a moped, and I had my earplugs in because I don't know if I explained this before, but the full face helmet is not enough. You need earplugs because when you're going certain speeds for a long period of time, the wind really gets to your ears, and you don't want to do any more ear damage than you already do with, like, say, headphones. We're constantly listening to music, and if you go to concerts, you listen to really loud music at concerts. You don't need wind damage on top of all the damage that your ears already probably go through in your day-to-day life, so very important to wear earplugs. But with earplugs, I have no idea what people are saying to me. The guy on the moped was trying to ask me about my bike. I wasn't sure what he was asking me. I think he was asking me if it's manual, if there's any gear shifting, and then I think he was asking how fast it goes, what the top speed is. That's what I got from that conversation. I hope I answered his questions. Another reason I don't go to the city often, and one of the reasons for that is because the city is so big, it makes you feel so small, and I'm kind of an attention whore. So if I'm going to the city, I want to have a decent reason to be there, and I want to feel less small when I'm in the city. And when you have a bike, or when you have a Can-Am, an attention-grabbing Can-Am, it's quite fun. You feel a little bit like a celebrity. I'm surprised more people don't have Can-Ams. I do hear that Can-Ams have more mechanical problems than motorcycles do, and it might be a bit more difficult to get replacement parts when you need them, and servicing them could take a little bit longer because of that. The lady at the desk, she was talking to me about all of her motorcycles. She saw that I was very badly sunburned on my arm, and I was telling her that I was riding my three-wheeler, and then she was saying that she has all of these different motorcycles, and that she would go around with the motorcycle group, and they would go around the country for like a whole year. They would go to like one state, stay for like a month, go to another state, stay for some weeks, and they would do that for like the whole year. They would just be riding around the country for a whole year. And that's really cool. So this is definitely a conversation starter. Already meeting very interesting, multifaceted people. I have a 2 hour, maybe 2 hour and 20-minute ride back. The main part of this whole video is just getting there. It's not the destination, it's the journey. That's like the theme of this whole thing. It's kind of cool that it's all coming together that way. I was watching on Instagram, there was this guy who showed his Blender progress from basic learning how to make objects in Blender and how he progressed for 3 years, and where he was in the beginning versus where he is now in 3 years after he first started learning Blender, and the difference was insane. It's like, did he model all of the things in that scene? When people do that, I don't know if their renders are everything that they modeled, or if they got it from somewhere else. I'm thinking, well, I've never made renders like that, but I'm so focused on making everything myself. I'm so focused on getting better at making human characters. That's what I seem to hyper fixate on. The idea of making a character library from scratch is very fascinating to me, because then everything that you see, the media that is created with those characters and those assets, you have seen the story of how they've come together over time, and you followed me along the way through everything. And I think that's what makes this series very special. Only time will tell. So we got to keep this thing going. Alright, so I'm going to get going now. I think rush hour traffic is over. Gotta go get gas and make my way back home. And this time I'm going to take the bridges. I'm going to take those damn bridges so that you can see how cool they are, and I can get over my fear of bridges. We're not going under, we're going over. I'll see you guys in the next update. Then on August 1st, I don't know what day of the week that was, but I got up early, or I stayed up early to catch the sunrise in Hoboken. I want a nice opportunity to get a good Instagram photo in there with me and my Can-Am. I think I want to name my Can-Am Winona. Winona, because I ride her. I was too late for sunrise in Hoboken. I left too late because I couldn't find where my phone was. And what ended up happening, though, was the ride there was beautiful. I caught the sunrise on the way. So this video is going to be sunrise porn. It kind of reminds me of that game Forza. I look like that moon emoji. I'm going to be so hot after this. This is what self-care looks like. It says I'm supposed to leave this on for 10 minutes. Use warm water in a circular motion to gently remove the mask. Pat dry with a clean cloth. Recommended to use twice a week and to follow with your favorite moisturizer. I haven't used this shit in months. Whoops. So what I've been working on, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but what I've been working on in Blender for this episode is the clothes. I thought I could work on retopologizing the body, retopologizing the head, but that's really boring. I think for the third episode, we're still early in the series. I don't want to bore people too much. So I want to work on more visual related things rather than technical related things. So more visual progress on our character. We've sculpted out different shirts, a pair of pants, a pair of shorts, shorts with side pockets like cargo shorts, and I still have to work on the shoes, but we can make a bunch of different combinations from what I've created here alone, so that's a lot of progress. And when we get into texturing and patterns and fabric, we can expand our combination styles even more. You'll have plaid, you'll have stripes, you'll have a Hawaiian short sleeve shirt as opposed to a plain short sleeve shirt, a short sleeve shirt with a side pocket versus a short sleeve shirt without a side pocket. You can make very minor alterations here and there, and it makes quite a big difference. So developing that workflow, it just takes more planning than anything else. So this is what excites me about Blender, all of the possibilities, character creation, character design. The possibilities are endless, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. It's a gradual process, and it's ridiculous that this guy is going to take me the entire summer to complete and show you its full completion. It doesn't really take this long, but I like drawing it out for more content and to show you step by step how these things are done. I know I'm not getting into very specific details, like I'm not telling you all of the shortcuts, all of the controls. In fact, I think I will insert a tutorial by a very good creator, very efficient creator, who I've learned a few more sculpting tips from and helped me with this video in particular right here. So I will link that in the description below, because these things are really helpful, and what I'm showing you here, what lacks here, I can put back by sharing other creators' videos with you that have helped me personally. So it's all about connectivity and helping each other learn and promoting each other's videos, promoting each other's work. It's what the internet's all about, or what the internet should be all about. Okay, so it's been about 4 hours. I've been leaving these things in. We're gonna take them out now, see how this came out. Feels dry enough. Ugh. Looking kind of interesting so far. Alright, are we done? That's some crazy hair. What do I do about this? Hairspray? I feel like I just got out of the beach. Matthew McConaughey. Alright. That's crazy. Surfer beach hair. I just gotta work on whitening my teeth. My teeth look so yellow in videos. I know my teeth could be whiter. I don't know how to make this work. It didn't come out as curly as I thought. It's just like waves. I took the mask off, obviously. My face feels smoother. My skin feels smoother. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to end it by making a pair of shoes. Okay, so I lied. We do not have time to do the shoes because this episode is going on to 40 minutes, and I don't really want to go much longer than that. I know our attention spans can only handle so much. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, leave a comment if you have any feedback. I really do appreciate it, and you can join that Discord. I'll leave the link in the description below. Next episode, we will be working on hair and shoes. Basic things that we weren't able to cover in this episode. We are continuing more visual related things, like I said, and I will be creating different hairstyles, much like I did with the clothes, further making different combination options for our character here. So this is really exciting to get going. And I know I don't sound really excited about it. You know, I'm always fatigued when I'm speaking, and I can't really make myself sound that passionate and exciting, but trust me, the passion is definitely there. I don't think I have to explain that. I'm really excited for where story is going, and I'm so glad you're here, and hopefully you will join me for future episodes, and check out the first and second episode if you haven't already done so. We worked on the head, we worked on the body, we've worked on the clothes in this episode, and we will be working on the shoes and the hair in the fourth episode of story. Very exciting stuff coming, and I can't wait to see where this goes further. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.